A disturbing deep web disappearance. Madam Musicmouth. By Tsnophaljakarax. The following transcripts were taken from the YouTuber Superhot T, discovered on her discarded laptop after she went missing on an undisclosed date. Part 1. Hi, this is Superhot T coming at you with another video. Today I want to talk about dead YouTubers. Not literally dead ones, don't demonetize me, but dead channels, the ones that aren't even close to relevant anymore. That kind of dead. There's plenty of channels like that from the heyday of YouTube, with a lot of people hoping to get filthy rich off of one moment of virality, or trying to make a career out of it, but never getting the blessing of the algorithm. And it's still happening, now more than ever as more people get hooked on the promise of online fame. The internet is constantly changing and growing, and for every creator making it big, there's 1,000 others who, for whatever reason, drop off the face of the earth. For better or for worse. One such person caught my eye, and I want to take a moment to recall the story of this person, and the disturbing reason why she left the platform, and the rabbit hole of madness I ended up going down the more I uncovered about this channel. Starting September of last year, there was a YouTuber by the name of Madam Musicmouth. She was a stereotypical fashion vlogger who had a flattering, très chic style of outfits and a witty personality, and grew a small but dedicated fan base. She also posted music and film reviews, song covers, and the occasional lifestyle vlog. Her signature opening was her waving to the camera before saying, "Bonjour everyone, this is Madam Musicmouth," in a sort of sing-song voice. From these videos, fans would eventually learn that her real name was Clarice de la Croix. She was 18 years old at the time of starting her channel, and she was originally from Bordeaux, France, before moving to America with her aunt when she was about 7 years old. Perhaps one of Clarice's most popular video series was her song covers. She would usually sit at her aunt's piano and sing a popular song from the 70s pop songs up to today's music. She would also wear pretty and flattering outfits during her covers, mostly low-cut dresses with high heels. It would appear that she got a lot of followers fawning over her looks, a majority of them being male admirers, judging by the sometimes provocative comments. Clarice would always comment back, thanking them, including the more lewd comments. I noted how she would often tease the commenter in several replies on several of her videos. Perhaps her most popular video was her cover of "Blame It on the Boogie" by Michael Jackson. Not sure why this was her most popular song, but it got over 1.7 million views before the video was taken down along with her other videos. Later down the line, the first few slivers of skepticism arose as more about Clarice was discovered. It was apparent that her aunt regarded her as a sort of child prodigy, being talented in singing, dancing, and acting, as well as for a general love of music and art. This turned a few viewers away from her, who began to view Clarice as pretentious. But soon they'd have far more reasons to question her than they had before. On an undisclosed date, Madam Musicmouth released a video simply titled "Masks." It was a 15-minute-long video of Clarice showcasing her collection of Venetian-style masquerade masks and go in depth about their design and meaning. Though one mask in particular she would pass over without a full description, only referring to it as a Venetian blue crescent moon mask, without further elaborating on it as she did with the others. In future videos, viewers began to notice this mask making more of an appearance in the background of her videos. It seemed at the same time the content of these videos took on a much darker and more serious tone. Clarice began to talk much more about religious subjects on her channel, such as the afterlife, heaven and hell, and the many different interpretations of it across multiple religions. She began to talk more about social politics and how she believed that the human race was spiraling out of control with so much conflict towards one another. Even her music videos took a more strange turn as she began singing Gregorian chants and other religious hymns and psalms, rather than her more light-hearted pop music routines. Again, this lost her a lot of viewers, but those who stayed behind and agreed with her opinions were much more dedicated. Various comments talked about how the world they were living in was killing them, how it was unfair, or that certain aspects of their life were horrible and not worth living in. Others, ever thirsty, would joke about how Clarice should begin a cult and that they'd gladly worship her. But most of the comments seemed to be under the impression that something strange was going on with the former fashion vlogger. Perhaps the strangest part of these videos was that a few frames of each video seemed to be distorted in some way. Those who looked through frame by frame found several out-of-place images in each video. A lot of them were just strange symbols, all in some way collating with the number 7. 7 circles, 7 lines, 7 smaller, more obscure symbols would always make an appearance as if they were part of some esoteric code. But perhaps the most sinister of these subliminal images was that of a large, imposing figure wearing a dark blue suit, seated in an empty room, simply staring at the camera. This large figure was wearing the same blue crescent moon mask that was appearing in the background throughout Madame Musicmouth's videos. What this image in particular meant was anyone's guess. Many believed this was part of some alternate reality game, but no one could agree on what it was about or what the clues led to. The symbols didn't mean much except always depicting the number 7 in some way, and the Moon Man image only appeared in a video called Exorcisms, leading some viewers to speculate whether the man in the moon-shaped mask was some kind of demon, manipulating Clarice's videos, or whether she put that frame in the video for a cheap scare tactic, which was the most likely answer to many. The last video Clarice posted was simply titled, "How to Apply Lipstick," and many thought that this was a return to form with a regular makeup tutorial, albeit an overly simplistic one. What it turned out to be was a 5-minute video of Clarice sitting in a darkened room, crying in front of the camera. Nothing else was noted for the length of this video until right at the very end, when the door to her room began to open ever so slightly before the video ended abruptly. After that video, Madame Musicmouth was taken down from YouTube, as well as all of Clarice Delacroix's social media accounts. After this video, many began to speculate on what happened to her. For about a year, theories ranged from the whole thing being an ARG, to it being a hoax, to Clarice being in legitimate danger, kidnapped, or worse. It wasn't until a year later when those questions were finally answered, and Madame Musicmouth had returned, but not in a way anyone had expected. Clarice had created a new channel by the name of 7 Mouth. In its only video, she explained what the new channel's name meant and the purpose behind it. 7 Mouth was to be the name of a humanitarian organization created and run exclusively by her, helping those in need such as various charities, finding jobs for homeless people and ex-convicts, and many other fields to help those in need. I found the link on her 7 Mouth channel before it too was taken down, just like her first channel. Here's a clip of Clarice advertising 7 Mouth to her audience. Bonjour, my friends. This is Madame Musicmouth, and today is a great day. I am proud to announce a super exciting project that I'm heading, called 7 Mouth. What is it exactly? Well, it is a charity organization that I'm hoping to kickstart. It will provide good Christian service to the homeless and those with past criminal records to help find suitable jobs and homes. I'm hoping to start employing people soon for this super important service to our community, and hopefully will be widespread enough to become a global organization. If you'd like to join, there's a website link below, and I'll be more than happy to see you working with us in the future. Good night and God bless. This sudden return, only to upload one video and once again go radio silent, sparked a lot of confusion from those who had been following Clarice even after her absence, and kept her legacy alive with speculations about her former channel's disappearance. However, I have my personal opinions on the matter. As much as it is fun to speculate and form conspiracies around certain people, I think this is just a huge hoax. I'm sorry, everyone, but I got my reasons for believing this. Remember that weird image of the man wearing the moon-shaped mask? Well, I found out where that image originated from. Seems as though Clarice was a fan of things found on the dark web, and that exact image was from such a site. Supposedly, it was on a hitman for hire site, which, while certainly a dark aspect in all of this, it concludes where Clarice found the image and tried to scare her viewers with these images, possibly to generate more mystery. Much like how in the past certain YouTubers would hide images of Slender Man in the background of their videos. It is a little sad that someone like Clarice, who could have had a promising online career in fashion and music, decided to attempt this ARG nonsense and fail miserably, not to mention using a real-life illegal site as a source for cheap scares. As for her supposed charity work, if it's truly real, it's most likely going to fall apart, like so many delusional content creators' attempts at doing good. But I don't know for sure. Perhaps I'll make a follow-up video when I find out more about Seven Mouth. Until then, this is Super Hot Tea, signing off. Part 2. Blame It on the Moonlight. Hey guys, this is Super Hot Tea, responding to the comments on my last video, as well as some more added info on the subject matter. First off, I want to thank all the people who left supportive comments on my video. I really appreciate it, but I did notice a few hate comments on that video as well. Let me get this straight. This isn't an attack on Clarice Delacroix whatsoever, just a critique on her channel and her actions. I don't think she's really a bad person by any means, but I'm just judging her on her direction and her past attempt at the ARG and how that threw away a promising fashion and music channel. Also, I don't like throwing the words simp around at all, but I have to wonder if these are from some of those few remaining Clarice sycophants. I got some bad news for you guys. Clarice isn't going to go out with you if you start attacking me for stating some opinions on her, so get over yourselves. I really hate to do this, but I absolutely had to delete some of the comments from my previous video. Not just because they're really scummy things being said about me, but a few of you actually had the cojones to try and dox me on my own channel. I'll say this just in case y'all didn't know this, but doxing is a pretty serious offense that I will not stand for, and rest assured that all of you that tried to share my personal information have been reported and should be dealt with soon. So basically, go screw yourselves. With that out of the way, I want to thank the rest of you guys for sticking around. I plan to make this a series for other similar YouTubers, and I'm glad to see your support. Hell, I almost want to thank Madam Musicmouth for the basis of this content, but that'd be silly. Now on to the more serious stuff. I found out more about that moon person image. I started my search for the image when researching more about Madam Musicmouth, trying to find some clips and screenshots to use, and that's when I stumbled onto the rabbit hole that was Madam Musicmouth's channel. Real talk now, I used to be a big fan of Clarice's before she disappeared, and she basically inspired me to make this video. I say I used to, because after her videos took a nosedive into more religious themes, that's when I stopped watching. Because of that, I missed out a lot on the ARG aspect of her videos until I came across those stills on image boards. Diving into them revealed them to be all original images tied directly to Clarice, meaning she must have made the symbols and whatnot herself. But the Moonface guy, as I'll be referring to him from now on, is from a website where you can supposedly hire hitmen, as explained in my last video. According to a source that I'm leaving undisclosed for safety reasons, the site only has one page, with this image of Moonface on it. However, the original image had him holding a gun in his right hand, resting on his lap. The image Clarice used on her video didn't have a gun. Not sure whether she edited it, or why else that could be the case. Do I believe all this to be true? Honestly, I don't know. But here's the spooky thing. Once I saved the image onto my laptop, it started appearing all over my files. I think I picked up some kind of virus, which is why I'm recording this on my phone, because I sent my laptop off to get fixed. Not that it's interfering with my work or anything, but I want to be safe rather than sorry. I tried what I could, but I couldn't get rid of the images. Whenever I delete one image, several more will appear in my files. It's like a hydra, this picture. I just hope my laptop will survive. But hey, that's what you get for downloading stuff from the dark web. Let that be a lesson to all you kids out there. Second thing I wanted to talk about was the Seven Mouth website. I visited it, and it's weird. It screams cult, as the opening page are what I can only describe as heavenly images with light blue font spelling out Seven Mouth in italics, while the trance song Silence by Delirium played in the background. It looked like something that was made during the 90s. There were several links to other pages that basically talked about what the organization is all about, but then there was a weird page that started talking about different spirits and deities and things. Stuff like Aharon the teacher and Sloyoark the great Ophanim and other weird names. And I swear to God there was a page that started talking about aliens. I got real weird cultish vibes from this site. Either that or Clarice is still attempting some sort of an ARG, but it's pretty wrong of her to add this stuff to a supposed charity website. Perhaps if I have the time and energy, I'll go through this ARG thing she set up and see what comes from it. Who knows, it might be a fun rabbit hole to dive deeper into. But if this turns out to be her real beliefs, then maybe Clarice is more of a shady character than I once thought. In the meantime, though, I strongly advise anyone to not go looking for this Seven Mouth site to support it, no matter how good its intentions may come across. You don't know what you're really putting your money towards. This has been Super Hot Tea signing off. Part 3. This is really messed up. I have to talk to someone about this, and I hope that someone out there actually believes me. I'm being stalked. I know I am. In my house, I kept seeing this figure outside my window for several nights in a row, just standing there, next to the light post, but just out of the light so I couldn't see them clearly. All I know is that they're tall, since their head came nearly halfway up that lamp post. I don't feel safe in my own home. I feel like every time I go to work, I get followed back to my house, and every time I look over my shoulder, there's no one there. One time I found a group of men in dark clothes huddled around a black car where I work, and the moment I came outside, they all quieted down and several of them looked at me. Then one of my friends came out, and they all turned away. I have no idea what that was about, but I feel like they're the ones following me. And that virus on my laptop, I think it sent itself to my phone as well. The same image of Moonface sitting in that dark room, just staring at the camera. Maybe it's this virus that's giving me paranoia, but that incident at work and seeing that person outside on my street at night certainly isn't helping either. I'm at a diner right now. I'm too afraid to go back home. I've been staying at a hotel for a few days now, but I think I'm being followed again. I kept seeing the same black car pass by my window 3 times today. I should have stayed inside, but I wanted to feel safe in a public place and send this out in case anything happens to me. I keep thinking about that image of Moonface. If he really is a hitman, did the virus somehow lead him to me? I have a theory that the image is like some kind of tracker, and looking into this thing, I may have accidentally activated it or something. Or maybe it's a two-way thing, and it reads off the data once it's been copied and pasted. I'm not sure how it works. All I know is that I'm scared out of my mind that I got some hitman or hitmen after me, all because I wanted to know more about some damn YouTuber I used to be a fan of. Maybe this is her doing. I can't be sure, but if she is part of some crazy cult, or even their leader, has she really sent a hit out on me? Is this because I made fun of videos? I didn't even think I was that harsh with her. All I said was that I thought all her videos leading up to that seven-mouth video were a hoax. This is insane. I feel scared out of my mind. I'm just waiting for those guys in suits to come in here and find me. And then what? Will they start talking to me, asking me questions? Or will they just open fire on me in broad daylight? Or would they do something else to make my death look like an accident? Or am I just being paranoid? I hope I am, but I know there's some weirdos out there in the world that would happily do something super messed up just for money or even shits and giggles, especially if they're from the dark web. I don't know how long I can hold out here, or if it's even safe to go back to the hotel. I called my mom several times, but she wouldn't answer, and neither would any of my friends. My phone kept buzzing every time I made a call. It doesn't normally do that. I hope they're okay. I hope nothing's happened to them. I'll never forgive myself if something did, and it would all be because of me. I wanted to look more into that website to see what else it had to offer, but all I found were empty pages and the same old statements about Seven Mouth being a charitable organization and all that nonsense about deities and spirits and aliens. What if this is some new type of cult? One that seeks out people to indoctrinate through this site, or the viruses it produces. I think that site must have viruses as well. I don't know. I just don't know anymore. The sun's going down, and the waitress keeps staring at me from behind the counter. I don't know what she wants. Maybe for me to leave. But I really don't want to. I'll stay here until the place closes. Shit. I can see that car outside. Oh shit, it's the same people, from outside work. There's 3 of them, all bald, wearing black clothing. They're just standing there. They're not looking at me, but I feel like they're waiting for me. I don't know what to do. Do I run to the emergency exit? God, I wish there was someone to talk to, someone to help me. Fuck, I can feel my heart in my chest. They're not looking at me. They're just standing there across the street. Wait, there's a 4th person stepping out of the car. Oh fuck, it's him. It's him. Part 4. Everything is normal. Everything is fine. When the world was first opened by the great wheel of Sloya Ark, the Cyclopean race was blessed by the arrival of the golden-winged beings from beyond the stars. Alharan, the great teacher, gave them the fruit of knowledge. So unto them they knew all, yet still fought the great battle of ages, cleansed by the seas as the world was born anew. Hail to the monarch of the golden beings from across the stars, as he sits at his throne in Nadir, waiting at the edge of the cosmos. Hail to Baloth, keeper of the glass palace, and the lord of pain and suffering. May he bind us all in anguish as we await the end of this world. And soon the great ark will take us all to Zenith, when the stars are right. Hail to Lu-Ra-Kish, prince of the moon, for he brought onto the world the souls of the blessed and damned. Born amongst them are the 6 chaotic minds, all voices of the follies of humankind, and among them shall be born a 7th, whose soul is pure and innocent. Rejoice, for the 7th mouth shall sing the great song, and the world will once again know of the deluge of enlightenment, and the world shall be cleansed once again. Rejoice!